Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to check out the latest video from Wormwood. And the reason why we're doing this video is very simple. I've been trying to push this band down your throat, just like one of those Peter North videos when he's trying to push something down a girl's throat. Well, I meant like metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
I don't mean like physically. Wow, now I'm thinking about it. This was not a good analogy. But anyways, I've been trying to push this band.
You should have said I've been trying to push this band like I did Manowar.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to have more success with these guys than Manowar. You know what I mean? I'm hoping,
True.
Because I had absolutely zero success with Manowar. And I'm not trying anymore. After the whole Hellfest thing where they just walked out, I'm not even trying anymore. So, Wormwood released this video for their album that I did a review for. And in this album...
It impressed you.
Oh, it really impressed me. I'm gonna go on. It's not even a limb. I'm just gonna say it right now as we stand here. Not stand. We're sitting. As we sit right here, right now. This album, their album, the new album from Wormwood, is in my top 10 for the year.
Ooh.
I have no reservations whatsoever.
I mean, you've gotten a lot of albums. There's been weeks where you've done like 3 albums.
Dude, I went through a week, 2 weeks, where I did an album. I recorded an album review every day for 2 weeks straight. I did that. I haven't posted them, but I'm just pre-recording because we're going on holidays. So, anyways, the point being is, out of all the albums so far that I heard this year, this album is in my top 10. It's that good. So they released this video. I don't think we've done a single video. I did the album review, that's it. I don't think we've ever done a video on the channel from this band.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never did a video. All right, so they released this video. This is the latest, and it's not a lyric video. It's a real video. So, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right.
Avlai.
Oh, yeah, the name of the song is Avlai Börda.
Börda.
All right, so anyways, I don't even know what that means, but that's irrelevant. So let's continue this quest for me, because I've put in some of their songs from the album on your phone, and I don't feel like you've really given it enough time to simmer. It's like a fine wine. You have to first smell it, then you taste it, and then you swallow. Well, that didn't sound good either. All right, let's just move on from this. All right, Wormwood. By the way, the whole album is about that, like the famine that Sweden went through during that time period. And some of the songs on the album are in English and some are in Swedish. Having said that, I prefer the ones that were in Swedish over the ones that are in English, even though I didn't understand what they were saying in the record.
I was reading the...
You were reading?
Yeah.
But in the album, there's nothing for me to read. I had just to listen to it. I prefer the ones in Swedish because I felt like they carried a lot more emotion.
We talked about this.
Yeah, so I really prefer the ones on the record. There was a few that were in one language and a few that were in the other. I prefer the ones in Swedish. Overall, by the way, before I ask you what you think, because obviously I know the song, I did an album review. I saw something that the guys from the band posted on Facebook. I think their album, if I'm not mistaken, it was number 2 in Sweden behind Sabaton, in as far as sales are concerned, stuff like that, which is incredible.
Yeah,
it's really incredible. All right, so what did you think of this song?
I feel like
I didn't put this one on the phone, by the way.
No, you put Arctic. What was it? Arctic.
Oh, I can't remember now. I know I put 3 or 4 songs on your phone.
There was one that started with Arctic, and I heard a bit of that one, and that one was pretty good. But I wasn't fully sold. I wanted us to do a video so I could
immerse yourself.
Yeah.
All right.
And I feel like you picked a good song to do because it's a long song, so I get to
you get to absorb yourself into the song.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, something just popped.
I mean, the story. I was captivated by the whole story of the song.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading along what it was saying, and it almost made me shed a tear because I'm like, oh, that's really sad. And then I was so confused. He takes the 2 pills and then he lies down, and then it shows a picture of the family, and then it goes back to him and he's dying. He has like blood coming from his eyes.
Yeah, it's like cyanide.
Yeah, he killed himself
because the family left to go to the U.S. for a better life.
Because he
didn't want to go.
What was it?
You don't want to go. Like he said that the crops will come back or whatever. God will provide us with what we needed. That kind of stuff.
I didn't probably read it properly. I thought he was talking about how he only had money for them to go.
No, she was saying if we sell the homestead, we can go to the U.S. right?
Left.
But he didn't want to go because he was like, the crops will come back or whatever. Anyways,
So the crops can come back.
No, that's why there was the whole famine in Sweden. So did you enjoy this one?
Yeah.
I think this is a band.
This is you've gotten me into this band. You failed on Manowar, but you did.
Dude, this band to me has all the makings of something you would enjoy.
They're history.
They're a melodic black metal band, right?
Yeah.
So in this specific album, it's all about that time period in Sweden, right? So there's a little bit of a history there. You really feel.
I do enjoy.
Yeah, and when you listen to the record from the beginning to the end, you really feel like you're taken on that journey, and it's a journey of pain and suffering. Like you really, even though in my case, I don't understand half of the songs because they're in Swedish.
But it's good to have these music videos because you can read along.
Yeah, and you can follow the story along. But when I listened to the album, I felt connected to the album because I felt connected to the pain and sorrow that the album carries. Having said that, it carries that with a lot of melody and a lot of really good melody. I really fell in love with this album because they really mixed that melodic approach to black metal really well. The album has that in bunches. You get portions of the song that is just pure black metal, and then you get portions that are more melodic. This song also has a little bit of folk in it. Some of those guitar melodies that you hear almost sound like something out of a Korpiklaani song. It has a little bit of folk.
It has kind of
because the backdrop of the record and the song is about Sweden and that time period.
And that time period was more folky.
Yeah, so for you to kind of bring the stories to life, you have to add a little bit of folkiness to it. It really helps. It helps tell the story. I absolutely love this album. From the moment I heard the album, I fell in love with the whole record. And it's been an album that I just haven't gotten tired of it. Like, every so often I go back to it and I listen to the whole record. It's just so good. It's so well put together. It's one of those records that it really transports you into that time period. Almost you feel like you're going through the hardships that they are talking about into the songs.
Yeah.
I absolutely love this record.
Watching the video, I read the English parts, but sometimes I would look over at the Swedish parts and I would, jam along. I think I have to go back and just watch the video, reading the parts and looking at it, because then I can understand the story completely. Because I only understood that, like, the family left to America, and obviously the crops are gone, and now he said that the crops are not coming back, and his family's in America.
No, because then after that it says at the end, then that was the beginning of the Black Plague. I guess the Black Plague at that time hit Europe really hard. A lot of people, tons of people died because of the Black Plague in Europe. So I think it was around that same time period, at least like a quarter. I mean, I'm not a historian, so I remember when I did my history test, I used to say, you know, in the 1500s, which is like the 1500s, like if something happened, I never said like in 1459, you know, it was like,
it's in the 1500s.
No, it's in the 1500s or in the 1400s. There's like I always give I give myself a 100-year buffer.
Yeah.
Because if something happened in 1525 and I say in the 1500s, technically I'm right.
You have to give yourself
I'm right.
On any test. You have to put an answer that.
My answers were always like that. I always had a 100-year buffer.
It's like on my religion test. I only put Jesus.
Well, it's like the question about the 100-year war. I don't know when it started, but I know when it ended. It ended 100 years later.
Yeah. So if you know when it ended and then you just backtrack.
I know, but I don't know when it ended. I just know that it ended 100 years after it started.
Oh,
so I don't know either.
So at the start of the war.
So yeah, so the war ended after 100 years. So I know that much, but I don't know the specific dates. Anyways. I highly recommend you if anybody out there hasn't heard the album yet, I highly recommend you guys checking it out. Really good album. I would say beyond good. This album is really well put together all overall from a lyrical perspective, from a storytelling perspective, from a melody perspective, from a song structure perspective, and then from an overall album perspective. Really well, all the way crafted. I fell in love with this record. From the moment I listened to it from the first time, and it's never gotten old so far. And I've been listening to this album because I got the album maybe a month and a half before it was released. So I've been listening to it for a long time now.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely well put together. I love it. All right, guys, this is it for today, but come back tomorrow. We'll have more videos for you. See you guys.
See ya.